Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Potato Garden Podcast. Today we have a special guest today. It is the creator of BlondRadio, aka Brad.
Oh, what's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. Ethan might drop in later, audience, so just letting you guys know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, Brad, you've been doing BlondRadio for how long now?
God, um, it's it's so funny to think about because there's so many different moving parts of it. Because, um, I guess initially I started posting videos to TikTok, literally just for fun, in April of 2020, um, or late March or early April,
Hmm.
um, and then
Right.
shortly after, once the videos started blowing up and it got some traction. I got people asking about bigger aspects of it. Should I just sort of like give the pitch of what the project is?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, not everyone's going to be from Blonde Radio who's going to listen to this,
Oh,
so.
exactly. So yeah, I started making videos on TikTok. Just kind of vibey, just nice shots of beautiful Victoria, BC. We're very lucky to live where we are. It's been
Totally.
very fun to get out and make content when I can. Um,
When it's not
and that
this
was
hot.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it for a bit, but and I'm not made for summer. But I was making these videos, and although I enjoyed them, they didn't really have a narrative. They didn't have a story. There wasn't anything attached to them, and I was thinking like hmm I'd recently just finished watching The Midnight Gospel, which is a fantastic show on Netflix. Definitely check it out. But the way they structured that show is they took excerpts from one of the creators' podcasts and they would animate them. And I was really
Oh,
inspired by that. And I
I
was
th-
thinking to myself, like, oh, you
sorry,
were saying?
sorry to cut you off, but I think I've
No,
seen
you're
my
good.
brother watch that before, and I was like totally like some kind of like psychedelic trip.
There is so much happening on screen, and then also auditory wise, the conversations they have are just so interesting. So definitely check it out if you want. But I was thinking like I don't have a podcast, but so I can't really make content off audio that I don't have. But what I could do is I could hop on some Discord calls with my friends, um, ask if they'd be down to just record a little conversation. I'd ask them a question or two, and then I'd use that. And the second one I made in that style, I think it's sitting around like 500, 700K views.
That's impressive.
Um, yeah, I remember it just kind of like taking off, and I was like, oh man. So I started doing that for a while. And another aspect that I added onto the project after that was um, opening my DMs to anyone on TikTok to message me if they'd be game to do a little interview. I thought very few people would. Um, it like for the first few months, it was like at least like 20 messages a day.
Dang, that's a lot to
And
go through.
It it was a bit overwhelming, but it was so cool to see this reaction to content that was maybe a little bit different than what you would find on TikTok. So I kept posting those for a while, and that's when people started commenting a lot. I got a lot of comments asking, "Where's the podcast? Where can I listen to the full thing?" And that's when I sort of realized, like, oh, this is bigger now, and I guess I should make this a podcast. And we did. We ran 50 episodes of it. It's on a little pause now. It's coming back in the next couple of weeks. But beyond the podcast, it's grown into we stream on Twitch now. I'm just so blessed with the community we have on Discord. It's genuinely one of the most life changing things I've been a part of. We do like weekly events there, and I'm literally in calls there every day, just hanging out and building connections. And yeah, I'm working right now on a bigger long term project that should be dropping in 3 days. And um, I've no, hmm, it's interesting, John, because I had no intentions going into it. I didn't plan for this.
Right,
And
right.
the kind of goal now is to just keep it going as long as people want it. And as long as I'm still enjoying it, which means, I'm trying out new styles of videos every now and then and new things on stream. And as long as I'm enjoying it, as long as the people are enjoying it, I think it's gonna go for quite a while.
Yeah, like with your Minecraft stuff too.
Yeah, another fun aspect that we've had to sort of be very careful about how we market. We had a very bad situation. So when we started Twitch streaming, uh, one of our things we do on Twitch is every Sunday we do sort of these mini Blonde Radio interviews on a Minecraft server where I bring in a few people a week to the server. They do some building and we have a little chat on stream. It's very chill. It's not an SMP. There's no lore, there's no PvP. Um,
Wait, oh,
but
wait. Oh, SMP.
so yeah,
So that's the one of the
that's the
tags.
cursed word.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What's funny
because
is I on as aspiring voice actor,
mhm,
I use Casting Call Club, right? And
yeah,
there are so many role plays for Minecraft. It's ridiculous.
exactly.
Like I think I was cast in one, and then I literally had like I heard nothing. So
Mm,
it's like okay, I guess it never happened.
it's a little finicky. And you know what? Props to the people that have created that space. Like I'm thinking like the big, uh, Dream, Carl, um, all those guys that have really pushed forward what an SMP can be and the space you can create. But they do so much work behind the scenes, and it's definitely not what we want BlondRadio to be. But we did, and I made a mistake. I made it a TikTok kind of that could be seen as sort of marketing our server in that way.
Right.
And then our
Blew
Discord
up.
server got, yeah, like 2,000 people in a day, and they were coming with very much the wrong intention. So we actually had to go and delete that video. Um,
Yeah,
but beyond that,
I didn't sorry. I didn't
oh
notice
no, you're good.
I didn't notice that happened and I was in that server cuz
Yeah,
only recently I've been just, checking it.
lurking.
Yeah, lurking
Hmm.
cuz usually I'm in the server but I don't like check the excuse me. The like how Discord has the like little blips and it's like, "Oh, these things
The
are on red."
notifications and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. As you shouldn't. It gets crazy at times, and that's something I really try and prioritize with the blonde servers. Like, with the mod team, I'm like, we're only gonna like at everyone like maximum once or twice a week, because the servers that get muted, the Discord servers that you're in that you mute, are the ones that at everyone like every day, and it's like it gets annoying as it should. So
Oh yeah.
Blonde Radio is a bunch of things. It's the stream, it's the community, it's the podcast, and I just want people to engage with whatever part they want to. I don't have any expectation that everyone's going to be into everything. So yeah.
Yeah, that's always cool. I think it's a swell idea to build a community.
Hmm.
Have you
For
had
sure.
any complications other than that SMP stuff?
That was the big one. And then the others have just come from learning how to build and grow a community,
Yeah.
what works, what doesn't. And a big thing that I'd, recommend to anyone who is, getting some traction, they're starting to build their own community, is just be very first of all careful with who you bring into positions of
Power?
power,
Oh yeah.
in our case,
Power cover
moderators.
ups, absolutely.
That's true. And not even just that these were malicious people, but early on they were helpful people, so I wanted their help. But I knew in my heart that their ideals did not line up with my ideals for what Blonde Radio should be. And that sort of came into conflict. Um, so I heard a really good piece of advice from a fellow content creator, Dish. She's amazing.
Oh yeah, I saw
Um,
that that raid. Holy cow.
yeah,
A
she's
thousand
blown up
people.
so much. Yeah, she's cool. She has grinded and worked so hard. We did a podcast episode with her. She's got a beautiful heart. But she said, what you allow in your community is what your community will become. So if you let things slide, if you sort of turn a blind eye to stuff that's not really cool, that stuff is only going to grow and fester. So it's made a lot of hard decisions we've had to make as a mod team a lot more easier when you think about it that way.
Yeah. You
Hmm.
yeah, hard decisions are always going to be hard decisions.
It's true.
Especially
Facts.
especially when you just start a channel just for fun and that's like what I'm doing right
Exactly.
now. So
Hmm.
and because I just do like a little meme videos, right? That
Yeah.
I haven't done one in a while, like ever since I started working again, because I haven't really
Hmm.
had a chance to dabble with, because I've been using Windows Movie Maker for that on my old laptop.
Oh no.
So since I have a computer now, I'm like trying to
Yeah,
figure out how to use other editing softwares, and it's
for sure. And,
mind-boggling.
and if I can be like fully transparent with you, I went to Camosun for a digital media production
Oh,
design
really?
course, which is, it's some photography, some video stuff, editing, communications, writing. But, and no shade, I really enjoyed my profs and some of the people I met there. But John, there's so much free info. Like I want to say I learned at least like 80 to 85% of the things I use to make videos from YouTube. Like there's so much free usable content out there. Um, so yeah, if you want it, just go out and get it. It's all there.
Yeah, because I was actually asking one of the guys that I had on the podcast, Oscar.
Is that Oscar?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And he just like said straight up said just watch YouTube videos. And I'm like,
It's
no.
true. And it can be, some and it's this weird content cycle because the people that are doing these tutorials also want views on their videos, so they'll make them longer, they'll do little shout outs, and like the intro will be 2 minutes, so there is like those tropes that those videos also fall into. But if you can find like some tutorials or some creators that you enjoy, there's a ton of resources.
Yeah, yeah, there's probably lots of resources out there.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the internet is endless at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, like I don't know why, but one of my videos has just popped off recently, even though it's
Oh,
like
let's go.
6 seconds, and
Mm-hmm.
it's basically excuse my language, but a shit post. Uh
Language excused. Yeah, no, I see some of your stuff is really good. I like it a lot.
yeah, I do some like cursed like what are they called? Like from like a manga or something where someone
Oh
has
yeah,
like
yeah.
changed the dialogue
Mm-hmm.
and then just voice it over funnily, and then just add actually I really enjoyed the audio editing part. That's probably my favorite part other than the video editing.
Totally.
Just it's kind of interesting how I can just like align some of my voices with like music or like sound
Mm-hmm.
effects on
It's a
Audacity.
whole sense that I think often gets overlooked in video creation is the audio side because you know it. You'll be watching a video, and if it had just bad audio, you'll know right away. But good audio. I think the best audio is the one that you don't really notice too much. Either you don't notice too much, which is like good audio, or it's phenomenal and people are putting their hearts and souls into it. But I think that more comes in film and television where you get like insane composers and stuff. But I think you kind of want the audio to go unnoticed because people will notice if it's bad, which is, that can go for a lot of things that get put into videos.
Totally.
Hmm.
Yeah, I actually have some people that there's some like composers that I really like
Oh,
in
nice.
like video games and stuff.
Hmm.
So I mean they need to get more recognition than they have, you know.
Yeah,
But it's like another science basically.
totally.
Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, with the video basically is like at 12. I think it was at 12K thousand views or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's basically just a clip from like an anime saying maybe it's the kiss that got me pregnant. And then I clipped it to this part where I don't know if you ever heard of Scott the Woz.
Yeah. Oh God.
And
I wish I had time to watch, like, his videos are so long and he puts out so many of them so often. He's crazy, but his stuff is great.
I actually have never watched him, but I know who he
Oh
is
no.
because of memes and stuff.
Right, right, right.
Uh
It's a funny guy.
yeah, there's one part where he's like opening a paper book and it says sex manual and he's like maybe I missed a page. And that was literally
Mm.
the video. So I don't know how to respond really to all the random subscribers recently. So
Right. I will say, or at least in my recommended, I get a lot of like under 10-second clips on YouTube lately, and I think it was a lot more, especially like last summer and fall, as Twitch was popping more than ever because everyone was inside. But the amount of Twitch clips that were on YouTube there for a bit was pretty insane.
And I think that YouTube's probably going in the direction of TikTok with the small little clips. There's YouTube
Mm.
Shorts now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a thing for mobile.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know this.
Yeah, they're like the video how it's just shown is basically like a phone screen kind of, even though
Mm-hmm.
it does.
Vertical.
Yeah, which is different, but that's how things are. One company
Totally.
copies another company
Yeah.
because they're
And
successful.
when Reels came out, I remember all my mutuals on TikTok were freaking out. They're like, "Is it? Should I post my content there instead? I don't know."
Oh
But
yeah, Instagram.
to this day, I don't think there's much that can save Instagram. Like beyond, I think it's fun for photos. I think it's still the most used platform for people putting stuff on their stories. But I think that's where it sits. I don't think Reels is gonna stop the trajectory. I don't know. It feels like Instagram is just getting used less and less by at least the people in my circles.
Yeah, that's because you're on TikTok, right? So, as
Yeah,
someone, I don't know how you might feel about this, but I'm staying away from TikTok.
fair enough.
It's just not for me. I don't. I
Is
kind
there
of
any like what is your sort of reasoning?
I just I don't vibe with the random music and then clips kind of thing.
Totally.
Uh,
Yeah, that's fair.
even though I'm doing that on YouTube.
It's the short video, yeah, kind of a
Yeah.
contradiction there. But I will say, and I'm sure you've heard this before, um, your first like sort of week on TikTok, I have never. Hmm. This is a phenomenon that's happened in our Discord because the For You page can curate content to you so specifically. It's a little scary. It's a little unnerving, sure, but literally everyone in our Discord has something in common with each other because of all our For You pages. You know, uh, all their For You pages brought them to Blonde Radio. And there's a lot of overlaps in, like, man, do a lot of us listen to the same music, or we all usually like play generally the same games.
Hmm.
Um, Not to say we're living in a bubble, but it's been a really cool tool to sort of find your people. But I can understand the weariness. It can be a lot at first.
Yeah, and originally wasn't it like musically?
Yeah, I think I don't want to misquote here. Maybe 2016.
Time to fact check.
Initial release 2016, but I don't know if that's for Musically or TikTok. But it's been around.
Yeah, cause like I remember it popping off after Vine died.
Mm-hmm.
Cause Twitter bought Vine and then they did nothing with it and then they closed it,
Mm-hmm.
as companies do.
It happens. It
Buy
happens.
one thing, closes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if Vine would still be around if Twitter didn't buy it.
That's interesting. But if someone came to you with like a multi-million offer,
Yeah, it'd be hard to say no.
yeah,
Like yeah, you see that a lot these days is with people um being their ideas like being sold.
I'm thinking specifically as you're bringing this up, all the press coverage I've seen around Microsoft sort of buying Bethesda and so actually just so many other publishing companies and sort of amalgamating them. Um, yeah, I don't know, but I do think like especially in the gaming field and industry, there's a lot of independent developers and there's so many games on Steam now. There's a niche for everyone, so
Oh
as
yeah.
long as there's an audience for it, I think there's going to be a wide variety of games and publishers for quite a while.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you say that. I barely touch AAA games anymore. Not
Yeah.
that I've ever really do. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, yeah, just recently I just bought Titanfall 2 because I know it's good because I've played it on the
Hmm.
PS4. Uh, but yeah, like probably the last AAA game was Cyberpunk.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah, I got my money back so from that.
hmm I think sort of issues like Cyberpunk and the whole EA sticking their fingers in the game design is really pulling back the curtain
Of
on,
creativity.
yeah, and just showing how many decisions are made at a corporate level instead of a creative level. um it hurts.
Yeah. It does hurt cuz it makes you wonder what actually like is said behind the curtain, especially like with
Hmm.
like a recent there was a recent article saying a certain amount of games in the future will have ads in them. And it's just like
Right.
what you're paying $70 now US for
Hmm.
a game that's going to have ads in it. That seems kind of
Yeah, it
sus.
doesn't seem right, does it? No. And
And
I will say, like, oh.
oh yeah, I was just going to say that it'll just end up like the mobile market,
Hmm.
which is apparently the most profitable market out there cuz apparently the most profitable game out there is from China and it's a mobile game.
It hurts.
Money talks.
Unfortunately, it does. um I was sort of talking about this a little bit on stream today. I recently, in the past couple of weeks, I've been involved in, I don't want to get too into it, but just a large financial opportunity potentially. Nothing was set in stone, but we were moving towards big sponsorships and
Ah, yes. G Fuel.
some no, not anything at that level, but enough that people, the conversations were going more towards what cuts people would be taking, and um, but in order for that to go through, there was beginning talks of changes that would have to be made to content, and
Ugh.
advertising that would have to be um, implemented into the work. And so far at this point, Blonde Radio is sustained off of audience to creator. The expenses I have that I need to run Blonde Radio are rent, internet bill, and food.
Right.
Car insurance.
Are you still live on the island, right? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm kind of in the Brentwood Bay area. I have a nice little, and it is a little, but it's exactly what I need to do
an
what I'm
apartment?
doing. No, we'll
Oh,
say it's
are you a tenant then?
yeah, I'm renting.
Oh, okay. I hope you take good care of the place cuz I've seen some pretty bad tenants.
I can assure you, John, I will take good care of the place.
Cuz
Um,
that's just another thing from the job I do.
oh yeah,
I've seen some pretty messy places.
I bet. Yeah, it
Yeah.
can get a little dicey out there. But yeah, for now, this financial and sort of audience to creator support is enough for me to keep making and creating and potentially expanding. So to involve some sort of third party in this pseudo kind of exchange we have, and then I'm like telling these people that I care about that, like, hey, you should, you know, check out this product. It would just feel really disingenuous, or at least at this point in the project. I don't have that much need for extra capital, even
Yeah.
though in order to grow eventually I will,
I
but for now.
I know that a lot of people on YouTube would be like, "Oh, you're selling out," because
Hmm.
that's what happens to a lot of creators or whatnot. Um,
Yeah.
I have heard that if you buy YouTube Premium, that's better than just watching like ads or something to support the creator.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I've heard. Because then you're not actually supporting YouTube; you're supporting the creator.
Yeah, the it goes right to them. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
especially with like how I I don't know when the I remember when the YouTube had that adpocalypse or something like that, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so only certain people were allowed to be monetized, and so that started that, and so now people get like the yellow dollar sign.
Mm-hmm.
So
And my thinking is, and I have a fellow TikTok creator. He's like my accountability partner. We check in and make sure we're on top of our stuff. He's just been phenomenal. Wholesome Simon, I highly recommend you check him out. He does mental health awareness and he sells his merch and gives profits of it to um, charities and organizations, which I think is very cool. But he is in the same space as me, where like when we make content for YouTube, like the last thing we're thinking about at this point is monetization because we're still growing and we're still like both in comparison to other YouTubers relatively small. Um, so like when you have a banger song that you want to use in your video, but you know it's gonna get you demonetized, it's like, well, at this point, like I want the content to be the best it can. I don't want to put in like some copyright free stuff to what maybe get like a couple bucks off ads. Like that's not worth it, at least at this stage.
oh yeah, like I have a couple AMVs on my channel,
Right.
and yeah, I got the copyright thing, so like I'm not gonna make money off of them, but that's okay. I just still wanted to make it with the song because I just thought it went well, you know?
Exactly. That and that like, and John, you've known this like because I've been, on YouTube since I wasn't making stuff in high school, but shortly after I started shooting and making and doing all this stuff. Like I growing was not like the priority at all. I just wanted to make cool stuff that I enjoyed. Um, and
Yeah.
it's cool looking back on it. You know, hmm, when you're in high school or even growing up, you know, the constant question is like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Ugh.
Even like 2 years ago, I couldn't have answered with this because, you know, I didn't see all the crazy stuff that would happen to get me to this point. But once you're at the point, it's easier to see in retrospect. It's like, oh, losing my job to COVID, that really sucked, but let me have more free time to make some videos. And
Oh,
then,
you lost your job to COVID?
yeah, I was working at a mid-level marketing firm, doing copywriting, which is different from YouTube copywriting. Copywriting, um, the verb to write, um, is basically just writing for advertisements, sort of
Oh,
the
okay.
language and stuff. And our company, we marketed career schools, mostly in the States, but in Canada as well. Stuff like Sprott Shaw or like, oh man, what else?
Oh, that's cool. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, we would redesign their website. So I did some web design stuff and just try and make it a bit more friendly on the user experience. Try and get more people in the door that wanted an education. Make it easy for them.
Wait,
Um,
did you like code the website or just design it?
very minimal stuff. You know, I did some landing pages and I got pretty nitty gritty in the back end of like WordPress on some of our sites, but I did not do any major stuff by any means. But it was fun, and I don't. I'm sorry, I couldn't even believe that lie. It wasn't very fun, but you know, it paid the most I've ever been paid before. It was in Langford, so it was like a 40-minute commute each way. It was a little not worth
Oof.
it for that. But for where I was at in my life, it was okay, and it got me some experience. And even though I was really bummed that I got the call, and what sucked is I was working at home at that point. It was like our first week working from home after COVID kind of hit in March.
Right.
That I just got a call on like a Friday afternoon, being like, uh, "We can't keep you on." So I didn't even get to say goodbye to anyone because I just wasn't in the office.
Dang.
But Um, if anything, I've learned to really, really love the low points because it gives you a lot of motivation. You can only go up. I know it can't, and it isn't that simple for a lot of people. when you're constantly in that low state. But
Tell me about
um,
it.
yeah, but
it, yeah, I can sympathize with that with the job loss thing.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know if I told you about this. I was working at Thrifty's in
Yeah,
the Mackenzie and Quadra
in
location.
the bakery.
Yeah, in the bakery, and around like January ish, I got I got like told to come in like
Mm.
for an interview kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
the supervisor basically told me a bunch of things that I haven't been doing even though I have been doing it, to
Mm.
the point where she started crying to make it seem like she cared, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then basically I was given an option to, they were going to send all that, like the stuff that I did do, but like she had a list of things that were like that I didn't do properly or whatnot. And she was going to
Mm-hmm.
send that to like HR, or I could quit.
Right.
And so I just quit. I was like pressured into quitting basically.
That's really gross, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, it was really dumb. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I wasn't apparently doing right was I would take the temperature of like a cooler and I
Mm-hmm.
would read it on the thing and it was like 0 degrees. So I would write that down. But apparently I have to put it lower
Mm.
so that they don't have to come in and fix the fridge or some stuff like that. And then she went
Yeah.
up and said, "Didn't you work at McDonald's?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I only worked in the front end." It was a crappy situation. Basically, she didn't read my resume because it
Mm-hmm.
was hiring day. That's how I got hired, and I was just hired on the spot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's tricky.
it was a dumb job. Honestly, I was their scapegoat
Mm-hmm.
for the holidays because that's what I did. I just closed every day, and
Yep.
it was rough.
But now you know. Now you know sort of like the warning signs at least, or the red flags moving forward. If
Oh
you
yeah,
come across an experience like that again.
especially when you get like no training.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are, man, some retail jobs. Likewise, I worked in a couple delis for about 7 years, and it's there's definitely, I think, a universal feeling to sort of just scraping by and people calling in and not getting shifts covered and you're understaffed and
Oh,
um,
that's the worst.
yeah. But I don't know. You can either come out of it really discouraged, which I did multiple times on so many shifts, walking out at the end of the shift just being like, why am I even working here? But
Yeah.
just trying to take those silver linings where you can. I was really blessed to work with some really cool coworkers that obviously I haven't seen in quite a while. Uh, COVID also being a reason for that, but that I still feel really supported by, and vice versa. They mean a lot. So
Oh yeah, like I have a silver lining with the COVID stuff because I ended up getting that real estate marketing job because
yeah,
my dad told
hell
me
yeah.
about it and he works there, so they needed someone for the Matterport, which was really booming because of the COVID stuff. Because
Right.
no one was allowed to go into houses and stuff, so they
Hmm.
did it all online.
That's
And
fantastic.
it was a good job. Another thing that got me through COVID though was an MMO,
Oh, what you been playing?
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, there's quite a few people on our server that are very into it. I would love to. I would love to sink some hours into it, but just
Oh,
the,
you
the
trust
schedule as
me,
is.
it's a time sink. Like
Yeah.
you will literally. Uh, there were days where I was like, "Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. What?"
But time enjoyed is not time wasted.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because like as you get older, time goes by faster,
Hmm.
which equals less time playing game.
That is something I've been wrestling with. I do enjoy games to relax in between work sessions, project sessions, but um, uh, I play Valorant a lot with our homies, and sometimes it's really fun, but sometimes it's not really fun, and it's like, is it worth going down a really sort of sweaty, getting into a sweaty match when I could be doing something else maybe?
Well, yeah, that's competitive games for you.
Exactly. I signed up for it. I should have known better, John.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember getting back into League and then dropping
No, no.
out and then
Mm-hmm.
getting into it and then dropping out.
League is a toxic relationship for sure.
I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you.
You know it. You know it.
Especially when it changes so much. So I don't think I'll be picking
Mm-hmm.
it up anytime soon. Unless, like, I don't know, like I get a full 5-man party. Oh dear.
Those are much better. If you have the right people, literally any game can be fun. So.
Well, the thing is, what I wanted to do for League is actually
Mm-hmm.
just try any champion in any lane.
Yeah.
Like, for the
Mix it
longest
up.
time, I was like just experimenting, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I want to play Thresh top lane with attack speed like over 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you. It's just too competitive, and you can't do those kinds of things,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
You get yelled at and for not playing the meta or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
with a game, especially as League, where you have they must be over 200 champions or something. Um,
I wouldn't be
but
surprised if it was over 200 now.
yeah, and each champion has like 5 skills if you're including passive, and then there's all the items and builds. There's so much room for experimentation, but then people sort of find these ways that the game is sure arguably more efficient,
Ah,
more
yes,
likely
efficiency.
you'll win, but like, is that fun?
Yeah, that's funny because, like, with how you say, like, how you could just completely do a random build. That's why I've been playing a lot of Risk of Rain too.
Hell yeah.
Just because, like, every game is not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless you die in like the first 5 seconds, but but like the amount of randomness and like possibilities that could happen to you is just insane, and it's just so much fun. And I think it's like the only 3D roguelike game at the moment. I'm not sure. Is
Mm-hmm.
there other 3D roguelike games? Not.
There must be.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche,
Yeah.
untapped market.
There you go. There's your next venture.
Oh no. No, my next venture will be a part of what I dreamed one of the nights. And it was such a intriguing story.
Oh,
Oh, you want me to tell you?
if you're comfy.
Okay. I gotta like. So, you know Attack on Titan, right?
Of
And
course, of
you know
course.
how like they're stuck in that like giant wall part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that, it was just like an actual like city, right?
Right.
And there's no like outside threat or anything. But the walls are like very how would I say it? Not futuristic, but like very pristine, kind of like cornerstone, kind of like all
Mm-hmm.
made of marble, kind of like very rich, kind of. If you ever search up a good way to say what it would look like is in FGO there's an attack defense ability where it's Wall of Camelot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what I'm just picturing is that like Camelot stone all the way around, and it's like this huge thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
basically I was just like this character who had a master who was like a sorcerer, right?
Right.
And then we had like we were just like fighting demons inside the wall kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I end up fighting the king's son because he transforms into a demon and actually showing that it's the king's that's doing all the demon spawning or whatnot.
Right.
And then eventually I get cast as treason, right? So I get captured and thrown into jail. And then someone springs me out of jail, and then I have to confront my master, who is like this grand sorceress, and she has like very she has red hair, not like red, but like ginger orange. And I defeat her, and then her hood falls off, and then she's like, "Go!" And then she like teleports me out of the not the city walls, but like out of like the dungeon, right?
Right.
And then it just clips to this part where she's being executed. It was really
very intricate dream.
Yeah, and the person who unlocked my cell uh gets their head smashed in by a mallet, right?
Okay.
And they're on like this like altar T-posed on like a sacrificial altar.
I can see it so clearly.
Yeah, the guy who let me out, he's just an ordinary human, and it takes only one hit to smash his head in. Before the sorceress, who was my master, it takes actually like multiple blows to her head to actually like kill her, because like she has like a protective like aura kind of thing. So that clips there. And then the next part is just this guy in like a medieval kind of like, guardian. He has a shield thing. And he also has ginger hair. And he's walking into the, like he was coming from the outside of the city. And then I don't know how he got in. Basically, like probably talked to somebody. And they're like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm just a mercenary." "Okay, we're letting you in." And then he enters the city, and then I don't know when our paths cross, but that was basically it. And then the screen zooms out, and it's just me watching a YouTube trailer.
It was a dream the whole time.
Yeah, and then
it was a dream within a dream.
It was like I was subconsciously like, "Oh, this has to be real. I need to know what it's on YouTube for." And then when it is YouTube, right? I go to the description. It says click here to the website, and I click it, and then it says 404, and then I wake up. It doesn't exist.
That hurts, John. That stings.
Yeah. I've had many of those kinds of dreams, and it's just like, I gotta write this down, but.
You should. Great inspiration.
Then I just wouldn't know what to write. Like, I'm better at describing it in audio like than writing it down, because like I wouldn't know how to just I wouldn't know where to start with the writing. But yeah, I think I was getting a lot of inspiration from different things. There were some gameplay scenes that were in the dream, I guess you could say. It was like a cross between Fire Emblem gameplay to like a roguelike gameplay.
Oh, let's go. The perfect blend.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, that was my dream inside the walls. Yeah. No, what do you think?
It's certainly something, John.
You get dreams like that?
Not as much as I used. I don't. It's sad. I don't dream as much anymore. I think I tire myself out. If I can be completely honest, I'm not probably sleeping as much as I should.
Oh yeah, I know that. How have actually, on the subjects of dreams, have you ever had a dream where your teeth fall out?
Can't say I have.
Well, oh, okay. Apparently, that's pretty common for people who are stressed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find more and more that I'm usually working until, I I try to stop or like wrap the stuff I'm working on by 3 or 3:30, and then by that point,
In the
you
morning?
know, oh yeah,
Ooh.
um, I'm trying to like reclaim the last hour or so that I'm awake. Use it for me time, which usually means like either watching a show for a bit or like reading something, and that usually gets me asleep by 5. So
Hmm.
it's the grind, and honestly, where I'm living right now, there's not a lot of fantastic uh, circulation.
Right.
It gets very hot here,
So you can't
so
sleep.
working
Yeah.
working at night when it's much cooler definitely helps a lot more. I don't know if there's science behind it, but working in hot temperatures on like something like editing or
Oh,
scripting out
your head's
something,
gonna explode.
yeah, it gets I'm very
Headaches.
not productive. Not even just headache. I just feel, I don't know, just fuzzy.
Right. You know what? I can sympathize with that. I'm still adjusting to the heat my computer gives off now. Right.
Hmm.
As a laptop, it just like if I would have it on my lap, I would feel it. But the computer heats up my whole room, so I have to open the
It
window.
does. Yeah, especially this time of year. I've had my camera. I run I have a cam link for my old Sony A6000. So I just do that for a webcam when I stream. And I've never had it. I've had
Overheat.
it once, yeah, overheat before, but it was when I was outside in direct sunlight shooting for long periods of time that it would overheat. But like this camera is in my room. It's not lit by anything. It's not near a window, but it's overheated now probably like 10 times.
Yeah, I
Um,
noticed on stream.
yeah, it has great comedic timing. It's fun for that, but ideally, hopefully, I guess for big goals and plans, maybe by next summer, I'm in a new place. That's maybe a bit more cool.
Yeah, and I mean the heat might like go down a bit in August, may hopefully.
Oh, for sure. Ideally, um, this is kind of an idea I've been playing with for a while, but just border issues and COVID have been an issue. I was even like trying to do a road trip back maybe like April or May before they like firmly closed the border for good.
Oh dang.
But yeah, there are a lot of blonde homies in Vancouver and then in Washington, right below us, in Oregon, and especially in California. So it's interesting. I think we're close to like 6,000 people in the Discord, which are like people that I get to know a bit better and would feel comfortable with meeting up with. And, we've developed deep friendships or whatever. But
Yeah,
literally,
sorry to
none of
cut
them
sorry to
live
cut
on
you
the
off.
island. No,
Sorry.
you good.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I hope to weld relationships together with myself. Like build a relationship. With the
For
groups.
sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was trying to be metaphorically, but
No, it worked. It worked. Yeah. There's a ton of really cool homies, and it's just taking that step of like joining in a VC and being down to talk about whatever. It can be intimidating at first, but yeah, that's sort of the plan. There are some more homies over in Alberta, but yeah, I haven't met really anyone from the island, which is it's weird because TikTok really prioritizes showing your content to people that are near you. So it's
really,
interesting that, oh yeah, um, at least like back when I was making more content earlier on, I would get a ton of stuff from either the island or BC, Lower Mainland. But like, man, like our audience in Australia and like Europe is stronger than anything we have here in Victoria. It's weird.
well, apparently, there are way more people on. Now this is somewhat off topic, but technically, Vancouver Island can fit in the Netherlands,
Interesting.
like population wise, because
Oh, for sure.
the
I mean, yeah,
population the population in the Netherlands has way more people than just the island.
yeah, and that's the other thing is just it's fair. The population density isn't crazy here by any means. I'm sure you know, like, especially in Victoria, Sandston, Central Sandwich area, you know, it feels like you kind of know everyone through relation. Like,
I
your
don't know
parents know
everyone.
them, and yeah.
No, I don't know if I know many people on the island. Maybe I do. I
Mm.
know you, and like all my friends, but like I won't like go to like I'll go to Mayfair Mall and I won't be able to like, who are you? You know?
Right. I guess that's fair.
Yeah. And apparently, like the human brain can only remember 150 people or something like that.
I I feel like I'm slowly learning that. I try to really stay on top of chat in stream and make sure everyone is seen and heard. But even today on stream, twice I misnamed like two people, and it just crushes me. Like,
Hey man, it's gonna happen, and you can't blame yourself for that.
I guess, and like not to sound too full of myself for the project or anything, but it's like that's a better problem to have than, like, you know, if things weren't doing well and I was streaming to like no one, you know?
Oh no, I mean streaming to no one isn't a problem in itself. It's just I almost preferred streaming to like a handful of people because then you can actually like interact with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like I don't know how a streamer who has like I don't know 100,000
Oh,
views
me neither.
talks
Even like,
to chat. Like I guess they just briefly look at chat and see if they're all saying the same thing and then just say
yeah,
that.
that's what I get. I hang out in Dishes stream a bit, and that's kind of the vibe. It's just sort of seeing keywords and what most people are talking about. That's why I don't ever want to, not to say this will grow bigger than it already has, but I think that's why I'm hanging out in the Discord as much as I am, because I want to maintain and retain these friendships and connections and make new ones for as long as I can. But eventually, I think I'll have to find some boundaries and limits, because even now, like, God, I just feel bad because I'll like forget to respond to messages or leave people on red for a few days, and I'm like, oh, this is, yeah, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, you didn't answer my DMs.
It hurts.
Hey
It hurts.
man, it's okay. I figured out where to publish my podcast, so you know.
Are you going through Anchor?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's easy. Anchor is a dream for that.
yeah, and I even went to their Twitter and I was like, "Hey, when are you coming to Canada?"
Yeah, for my that's the other thing. It hurts, John, because I have I think we're nearing like 100K streams on the pod,
Oh,
which
nice.
I never thought would be a thing, but like I don't have any monetization on it
Right.
because it's through Anchor, and there aren't really any viable or similar, options for anything in Canada. It's kind
Yeah,
of a bummer.
the other ones are like subscription based, and then you like,
Exactly.
and it's like, but I want to create content without paying.
Yes. Yes.
It's almost like
Hurts.
you have to invest.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I would not be able to do this if I was still doing my marketing job, and that's like an investment of time, you know?
Totally. Well, I mean
Yeah.
that's why I haven't been uploading any videos in a
It's
while.
the work takes it out of you.
Yeah, and yeah, you lose. I wouldn't say lose creativity. I wouldn't say that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more like I just want time for myself, really.
I remember my long thrifties shifts. I'd be dreaming up of what videos I wanted to make. And I did, sometimes go and make those videos, but more often than not, I feel like I would come home and just be like, I am so tired. I just want to eat dinner, put on a show, go to bed, you know?
Yeah, I actually had an idea for a video recently where it was like, wow, thanks. Like take a picture of like how many subscribers I was at, which was
Hmm.
130. Now it's at 162. And I'm
Let's
like,
go,
oh,
John.
okay, when I get to 100, when I get to 200, I'll make a video and say thanks and say like
Exactly.
sorry for like no updates, and I've just been pumping out the podcast episodes because they're fairly, you know, simple-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
And
of,
like, oh, go for it.
do you have any like icon I could put into the thumbnail? Like
Yeah, I could just send you like that's another
like a
thing
logo.
I really need to work on the branding for Blonde Radio because like the most we have for branding is just like the words Blonde Radio, but in a specific
And
font. I
Shinji.
could just send you a JPEG of that. Yeah, send Shinji. Shinji's an icon.
Even though I'll be honest, I'm not going to watch that anime.
Why?
I've been spoiled.
Uh, how? What?
I went to an anime convention with my buddy
Mhm.
Oscar, and we went to an AMV contest stuff because he really likes AMV stuff, right?
Hell yeah.
So, and then someone had AMV for Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it was really depressing.
It's a lot, but I will say,
And then everyone turned to goo.
yeah, but there's so much more, John. It's so worth it because even, I've watched it all a few times now, and I still feel like I barely understand what happens. It's overly complicated, but in a really cool way.
I'm just I guess I'm not one to enjoy bittersweet endings, you know, or sad unknown endings. Like, cause
That's fair.
I'm one of those people who just uh, like I have
You're looking for some closure.
yes, I got like a train tunnel vision kind of. Cause I remember finishing Gurren Lagann in high school.
Yeah.
And then I got really depressed after finishing it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't watch anime until like after high school because of like how it ended made me just really depressed. And I wish, well, I mean, I was in high school. I was an emotional wreck.
As were we all.
And I'm still am. I just hide it.
That's the mentality.
Laugh behind the mask or whatnot. But yeah, I'll probably watch it like I'll probably watch it with someone. If I watch it by myself, I'll probably like sink into, you know, that whole like trap inside my own head.
Oh yeah. I can understand that. I think we're a bit opposites there. I don't know. I really enjoy the sad.
Oh, I enjoy sad moments too. I watched what would be considered sad? I don't know. Have you heard of what's it called? It's that Viking one.
Oh, Vinland Saga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be considered somewhat sad?
I haven't watched enough of it to know. I've only seen first few episodes.
Oh, okay. Continue it. It's really good.
I will. I definitely enjoyed a lot of what I saw.
Yeah, I don't know. I even like with games, I was upset with how I don't know if you've ever heard of it, Tales of Berseria.
Is that like from the Tales of Symphonia, all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tales of Berseria has like a very bittersweet ending, and I'm like,
It's even like, as much as I really love the Persona games, like I always get terribly sad at the end of them.
well, yeah, because then you're done.
Yeah.
Then you
I
just
guess that's
feel
fair.
empty. That's how I felt after beating Royal.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now what?
So I think I've sort of learned that about myself and have more so with shows and anime instead of it, because you know how easy it is to watch like 10 episodes a night. I'll just watch one, maybe two. You know, I pace it out so it's not as huge a part of my life, so that when it's over, I'm like devastated.
Yeah, just imagine when One Piece ends.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot of people. If it's
gonna hurt me.
It ends. We have to.
Well, I just
open.
hope that the creator takes his health very into
Of course.
consideration and
Mm-hmm.
takes lots of rest and breaks, because like in Japan people get overworked a lot. And hearing how, the creator of Berserk passed away, and I was just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's unfortunate.
And it's things like that. Like I think about Hunter x Hunter and how cool it would be to see, continuation of the manga and eventually the show, but not at the risk of like I wouldn't want someone who brought such a cool thing into the world to suffer for it.
Mm.
So that's why I can never really understand hate at creators.
Oh, I
Even
can't I can't understand that at all.
like admit like Game of Thrones went off the deep end. The final season objectively was not good. But like you can why would you hate? Like it just didn't work out. Like it just didn't line up. But it's a made up story. It no has no implications other than like if anything it's a testament to how cool it was cuz you cared so much about it that you got upset when it went away in a direction that you didn't like. So it's like, wow, I was really moved by this thing.
I,
Like,
I didn't
if you're
really
spending energy on forums like Reddit and like just shit posting about how much you hate it, then it's like, oh, that's sad.
I don't know, sometimes they do make pretty good memes.
And that's a silver lining in itself. We take the laughs.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the ending.
Hmm.
I dropped the series before that happened. I was
Yeah.
watching it with my parents because like it was actually a pretty good series, and then I just stopped watching. Oh yeah, it was after the Hodor stuff, and then we just stopped
Oh, that
watching.
hurt.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was enjoyable like up to that point, and then I just like lost interest because
Hmm.
I don't know. I had other things to do. Things moved on, and yeah, but like that Scarlet Knight stuff was pretty good.
Hmm.
Like it really really caught people off guard, right?
Yeah.
It exverted some expectations,
Hmm.
and then that theme just started happening all over everything. Subverting expectations is like the new what's it called? Trend, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And I
So
think it's easy for a lot of people to just do it and then call it an artistic choice. But um, I don't know. As much as people clown on like The Last Jedi, I think I really enjoyed it. Or like
I prefer the Mandalorian. Okay.
that's very fair and to each their own. And I think we can enjoy different things and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole
Yeah.
expanded universe for that. I don't,
Oh man.
I,
I was
in,
so deep in the books that got retconned, but that's okay.
hey, in your head, they could be canon.
Exactly. And literally, who cares? If you care that much, very cool. You can go around the other people that care, and there you can yell at each other, and then it can be fine.
Who
But
has the high ground now?
exactly, media is to be enjoyed, um, and that goes with anything. With Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, books, movies, shows.
And
Um,
and
if you don't enjoy it, you don't have to watch it.
and from my experience, I say, one anime cannot trump over another. Like the
For sure.
greater
Yeah.
than thing. I
I, mhm.
yeah, I hate that things like, oh, this is so much better than this. Like when they're complete
Mm.
like different like ideologies and like themes.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say stuff like I like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood better than Death Note, something like that.
Oh yeah,
But
then
when you
state it as
if you
one.
say it's like it is objectively, then it's like you're just trying to upset people, or you
I
you
think that
care this much about a story, which is cool, but like okay,
objectively, I think it's bait.
there, look at that, look at you go.
Yeah, especially like when people say, "Oh yeah, this character's stronger than this character."
Mhm. Mhm.
those
I
those things
mean,
those things don't make sense to me.
I think it's really fun to compare. You go and you say like the characters in this, I think they were better at this, but I think the plot was better in this.
Mm.
That's fun. But when you're coming to, I don't know. It all leads back to Star Wars. It's that Sith thing. Only the Sith deal in absolutes.
Yeah. Or like what would that be considered calling? Like people end up getting to the point where it's like considered like a competitive sport.
Mm. Yeah, I feel yeah.
Like, oh,
And that's like
who can beat Superman? Goku.
right. Mm-hmm. It just goes down that hole, but that's you know, that's what I'm
I
most drawn to and care about, and that's what we try and do with Blind is just, keep the conversation open, get as many perspectives as possible, try not to say no to people. And some people could look at that and hear that and say like you're just letting people walk all over you, or you're just trying to placate and like make everyone happy. And it's like, yes, to an extent, because I want to hear as many stories as are out there, because I'm learning so much from them, and maybe someone else can learn something too. I think a big epidemic in um, our society. Oh my God! But I think a big
Oh, you
issue.
said it. You said it.
I did.
You get what
I
you
think a
deserve.
I don't know. I think the world would be a little brighter if people prioritized listening a bit more.
I also think people would be a little bit better if people could forgive each other. You know,
Hey, that's
and
a whole
especially
thing.
especially when someone says, "Well, I think this thing,"
Mm-hmm.
and then they get canceled for something.
Just gonna say, you can see it in cancel culture a lot. People who have no personal relationship, no, encounter with them in their day-to-day lives in a meaningful way, will feel the need to talk about a moral high ground that, they should be having over other people. Like, I don't stan X actor or person because they did this, and you shouldn't either. Where it's like, dude, if we applied that standard to everyone, and I know it's different because people have platforms and influence, but I think we're getting to a point with our social media literacy where I think for the most part, most people can tell the difference between real, and fake, and the
Hopefully,
complicated
hopefully.
relationship of that. But just understanding that like no one's perfect, and to crucify people, and
For making a
you know
mistake.
it's just so counterintuitive of what we would want to happen to us if we were in their situation. And
And
you know
I,
so
I'll say society again. I don't think society will profit from people being canceled because we don't learn anything.
yeah, I think like the number one things it does is it drives clicks to websites. um
Oh yeah,
but I will say stuff like, of course, like the Me Too movement and speaking up against injustices. But I think the line can be drawn between someone enabling a really toxic, like say racism, for example, versus someone just being dumb and making a mistake. I think we should be able to make that distinction, and just, I don't know.
oh yeah, and people are ignorant, and as they say, ignorant, being ignorant is bliss, or what? Ignorance is
That's it.
bliss. Yeah,
There you go.
and whoever came up with that was such a big brain.
Massive, huge. They were not ignorant.
No, they were not, and there's so many of those like books about like in the past where like are telling the future to like where it's a dystopian.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't read any of them, but like I've watched a couple of YouTube videos about that, so I know everything about it. Nah, but like it's fascinating how somewhat accurate their books were, you know. It could
Yeah,
be all just coincidence, but like
I'll
this,
say, humans are very predictable. We
are they?
are very much, I think so. I think we're creatures of habit. We mess up, we get jealous, we have desires to climb and achieve either
Succeed.
power, wealth, or family, love. Um, on a baseline, I think we're much more alike than different.
Yeah, I have to read the thing that my friend has as a description. Oscar. He
Mm-hmm.
his. Oh, let me see where it is. Oh yeah. Oh no, he changed it. It was basically saying like humans are like computers and computers are like humans. We're all just combination of data or something like that.
Yeah, there's that whole and I got into Troy with not a little bit. I got into Troy with it a little bit in Tarek's Twitch chat, just about Troy going on about how love is just a chemical reaction and stuff like that. And I could see that, but I think the world's a little brighter if you, I don't know, believe in some kind of a human spirit or will or a drive that exists beyond the neurons, shooting in your brain.
Well, yeah, like I've been thinking that religion was just is to keep people sane. You
Well,
know,
I mean,
a
I
little.
think you were in some of our. Were you in Teal's class where we talked about religion and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much of religion and the stories that are told in it are to explain the world, to give explanation, because our
Mm.
brains hate ambiguity. We hate not knowing why things are the way they are.
Just like
And
how I hate how some anime end.
exactly,
It ends
just like that,
ambiguity.
with some ambiguity, of course. So I think there's wonderful principles and lessons to be learned in religion, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of the things that people are missing these days is common sense and common, uh, you know, uh, the stuff that religion taught, which is like do unto others as you would do to yourself, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's stuff like that where even though I've stepped away from the church, um, I'm really grateful for stuff like that. Just very general, and not to say I wouldn't have learned it if I wasn't in the church, but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
glad that I got those skills of hey, don't be a dick. Um, yeah.
Although, I do have to say that if someone is blunt, does that make them a dick?
Hmm. I th- okay. So in my if someone was blunt with me in my situation, I would read that as like, oh, this is how this person communicates. I would try to not put that on them, but I know
Yeah,
that's not as easy for everyone to do.
yeah.
Um,
I honestly rather have someone just be blunt than like let's say some.
accommodating,
What do you mean by accommodating?
like sort of a softer truth and a harder truth. Like instead of someone coming out and saying like, "Hey, you're annoying," if someone was like, "Hey, maybe you could like tone back this and this and this," would you prefer one or the
I mean
other?
I don't know if I would prefer either.
Right.
I was thinking more of the fact that I would be rather have someone say like point out my flaws than lie, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like someone tell me the truth than rather just butter me up and say no 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 you're fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. I I kept thinking about that in high school. Like it felt like people would take pity on me, but I rather would have people just enjoy me for who I am, you know?
Mm.
And I feel like a lot of people are probably suffering through that these days.
Yeah, and that's hmm. I know I know high school wasn't the easiest for you. It wasn't the easiest for any of us,
Oh
but
no, yeah.
um I'm trying to think here. I think we were all just like growing up and learning and trying to figure out how to interact and be proper humans. But I think um I know
Pro-
I personally I felt like I struggled a lot to be a better friend to you because oftentimes and I don't think you do it as much now, but you were very easy to get down on yourself and be upset with yourself. Um, so even like when we would try and be supportive and stuff, it felt like we were sort of like battling uphill because, there was that obstacle there. But do you feel like you're in a better place with that?
Uh, well, obviously I still have down days, but like, eh,
Yeah.
I was more of like, oh wow, you know.
Hmm.
You still have, I still have my demons, and everyone still does, and it's that whole like, uh, what is expected to you in the society, and what are your appearances like, and or is that hard to explain?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like right now, I just don't care.
And that's the most alpha move you can make. Just don't. Just don't, like, simply cease to care what other people think.
Yeah, I'd rather play a game.
Let's go. Of course.
Bring on the games. Yeah, but yeah, I can. There's a lot of things I wish I didn't do in high school.
I feel ya. I feel ya, John.
If I could go back, I would make it better.
But we can't. So we take what we've learned and we move forward.
Yeah, it's not like we know the past exists. We're not in the past.
Look at that 5,000 IQ.
Yeah, I got that from something. Yeah, it's like how can you can't prove the past exists. We're not in the past. We're in the present. The future doesn't exist either. That was like some comment on a YouTube channel. And I was like,
If we go down this wormhole, we'll never come back.
oh wow.
Yeah.
There's sometimes it's just like and I like exploring those ideas. They're fun.
As you should.
I wonder if I can become a philosopher.
Hey, it all starts somewhere. You're asking questions, and that's where I think a lot of them started.
Yes. That's also another thing is that with the religion stuff, I'm not very. I guess I'm still Christian, but I'm still like, I'm more of the Christian for the community.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I believe in God or not. Like if he exists, then he exists. But like I have my doubts, and it's complicated. And apparently, you need a lot of like what's it called? Not hope, but like fellowship or something like that.
Right. No, and religion's really good for that, for fostering, a space that you can go and be like-minded with other people. I think that's cool. But um, as I've learned this past year, you can find that anywhere, especially online. Uh, there are so many people out there that want to chat and hang out and do all kinds of stuff together. But admittedly, it can be a lot more scary to sort of hop in those circles.
Yeah. And I'm still, well, actually, I am in a couple, and like, we're, yeah, like-minded individuals that like-minded entertainment. Like, I'm in a couple Discords with the Fate stuff, so
Oh, nice. That's cool.
yeah, and I stream sometimes, or no, I watch them stream sometimes, and then I raid them with 2 viewers.
Let's go. Hey, a raid's a raid, no matter how big or small.
Oh yeah, and then you get them to what's it called? They have like a bot that
Shuts you out?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I guess that's how people get views or followers. You slowly just build connections.
That I agree. It's like probably my weakest suit is like connecting with fellow creators. There's probably like maybe 4 or 5 that I feel like close to, but if I could give any advice, I think the number one thing, I heard this great advice from uh can't remember who, from multiple people, but you don't grow while you're online, like while you're live streaming. You will like it's much more difficult to grow that way. Like the growth comes from putting your content out there when you're offline. Like I don't know,
Clips.
yeah, I have my main TikTok account, but in January I started a Clips TikTok account, and I post stuff there 5 days a week.
Oh, from like
And
Twitch.
from stream, yeah.
Oh,
And it's so much work, but on top of everything else, I've managed to get this Clips account to almost like 40K followers.
nice.
And yeah, and it's just the consistency. You have to stay on top of it, and you have to. So not to spoil, but I'm working on this big project. I've been working on it for a month. It's gonna drop on the 9th.
Ooh,
Check it out
secret.
if you're listening. It'll be up on the YouTube. I'm very much looking forward to it. But I did some interviews with some people, did some filming. But this one fellow creator, she's very cool. Her name's Julie. She does visual arts. She went to like grad school for it, and now she teaches it. But she said you can't, you won't get good at something if you can't do it when it's boring. You have to, you have to commit to the dull moments, and you can't wait for inspiration, and you can't only do it when it's fun. If that is you want to make it something, financially sustainable or that will potentially grow.
Yeah,
Totally
that's
cool to have
understand.
something
I mean,
as
it's
like a chill hobby or whatever, but if you're looking for that bigger growth, you can't, expect it from just kind of,
yeah, you have to go big or go home.
yeah, you got to put your heart into it.
Yeah, and I kind of feel guilty now.
No, I'm sorry, this wasn't a call out, but just a general, just give off
Brad, you
some
want me to make
content
more
advice.
videos?
I mean, always. I mean, that'll help you, I think. But also, you
Yeah.
have to decide, if it's something that you want to do all the time. Because, John, I make significantly less than I did at my marketing job, and I work like double the hours. But I've never been happier. So you have to
Yeah.
find that balance for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally understand, and that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah,
I'm not going. I don't expect the views to just whoosh right in,
exactly.
and I just want to do it because I like making people laugh, and making people laugh makes me happy.
Exactly.
That's kind
You
of,
found your drive.
well, yeah. That's been my drive for a while now, and then
Hmm.
I even asked my pastor, "Is it selfish for to want to make people laugh?" And then
No.
it's like that's a really interesting philosophical kind of question.
Hmm.
Because like if you want to be happy by making people happy, is that selfish, right?
No, that's no, no, no. Because I'm this like my biggest joy is when I can make other people happy.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not saying
and
it is. I'm just
yeah,
big braining it.
I think that's a nice symbiotic relationship we can have with the people around us that we value, um, uplifting them in order to make us happy. You just want to make sure you're not, putting it all on the line for someone all the time, because eventually that will hurt.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, just like maybe in a more intimate setting, like instead of like a creator audience, like in a relationship, if you're always wanting, putting them on a pedestal, eventually,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, putting people on a pedestal is, I don't know why people do it, but it's just something that happens.
Hey, it's fun.
Uh,
I do it too often.
no.
I see the best in people, or like I romanticize an idea of them, and I let it go to my
I
head.
mean, I guess I could have put you on a pedestal, but like, more of like an inspiration kind of pedestal. Like you made this
Oh, very sweet.
podcast stuff, right? And
Hmm.
one of the other inspirations was I listened to the official podcast, but that's very
Yeah, those guys are awesome.
let's just say that it's a very uh
Yeah, they get out there.
how would I say this? Coarse,
Yeah, a little rough around the edges, sure.
a very dirty podcast.
Sure, yeah.
But they like, they're honest people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're funny sometimes, and it's just enjoyable to listen to while I'm driving from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that's two podcasts that inspired me to make a podcast of my own.
That's so cool.
So, you're one of them.
Appreciate it. There's a lot to be gained from people that we look up to. When I was working that really not fun marketing job, start of 2020, I can't remember if it was right before or after I'd been dumped. I got dumped in January.
Oof.
It was a bunch like got my heart broken, lost my job, and then my car broke down. It was just a triple whammy. But I had this note I put on my desk at the start of 2020. It's on my shelf over there, but basically it goes along the lines of like, this is your year. You're gonna create. You're gonna make art. If Nathan, Ken, Jake, and who was the last person? Someone else. If they can do it, you can too. Jake being Jacob Fraxton, because he just had incredible drive. We haven't been in touch a lot, but
oh yeah, wasn't he a rapper?
No. You're thinking Jay Chris.
Yeah. That's the problem with. I have problems with names, Kay.
Oh no, you good. But Jacob Fraxton, he killed it. He had the vision and he went for it.
What does he do?
The last I heard, he lives East Coast Canada, Montreal, and does like online AI web service development for some like medical company that helps people connect with like patients and doctors connect with each other in a better way.
That's cool.
It's very cool. So I looked up to him for the drive. Nate, do you remember Nathan Chu?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta keep uploading those YouTube videos."
Hell yeah. Yeah, and he's always just been so eager to, create and lift up other people. And then, of course, I had my friend that I met from the deli job, Ken, who when I talk about growing from just being live, this man, I lived with him at the time for about 8 months. He would stream to a wall, literally 0 viewers for like 8 hours a day. He did that for like 2 weeks. And then he slowly, oh so slowly, like streaming 8, 10, 12-hour days in a row, grew a community for Overwatch. And he made quite a run of cash off that for a while. Some support, some really good friends, and he just had an incredible drive. So yeah, find people. It's easy to look up to Casey Neistat or like Billie Eilish or like really big successful people.
Actually, I don't watch those people.
But I'm sure there's YouTube creators or something that
some
have inspired
ordinary
you.
gamers.
Yeah, but it's not to say easier, but I think it's more accessible to see people in your life that are doing well or doing what you would like to do, and try and seeing like, hey, if this person can do it that I know, why can't I do it? I think it's easier to say that than looking at like Brad Pitt and being like, if Brad Pitt can act, why can't I act? Because that's so far removed from my life.
Yeah. I wouldn't think like that. No.
Yeah.
If Daniel can act, why can't I?
Well, see, there you go.
Nah.
Daniel.
Yeah. And we keep in touch now and then. He's doing well.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he totally is. Okay, I'm going back to that Nathan Chu thing because that was kind of funny. I was streaming, and then I got a stream alert, and then it just said Nathan Chu.
Wait, Nathan Chu stream?
No, I got a
oh,
stream.
that he just followed or sub?
Yeah, I got a stream alert that Nathan Chu subscribed. I'm like, wait, Twitch? I don't have a Twitch subscription. I only have 25 followers. So then I go into Streamlabs, and then it turns out it was to my YouTube channel.
Oh,
It was
had
really
that? Yeah.
weird. Yeah, I it it boggled my mind.
Hmm. I didn't know you could put YouTube alerts or have those linked in a way. That's interesting.
Yeah, I oh, what the heck? I'm just looking through it now in my mini feed of Streamlabs because I'm recording this through Streamlabs.
Yeah.
And 8 years ago, Nathan Chu has subscribed. And so that played
Damn.
on my stream. And so uh, I don't know why I did that. That makes me think that later in 8 years or 7 years or even
Oh, that
like
maybe
sooner,
it's changed the software or something. Like
or I don't know if I'm going to get a bunch of alerts of all my subscribers.
that is so cool.
That's weird. But I thought that was neat.
It's very neat.
Mm-hmm. So, I think we're at an hour and 30 minutes. As we've been
Yeah,
chatting
we
for
running
quite a
it.
bit, making that
Mm-hmm.
dollar bill. So, thank you for coming on my podcast. When am I coming on? I'm gonna show myself out to you, Brad. You better have me on your podcast. Nah.
Appreciate you having me.
Um, I hope to appear on your Minecraft server at some time.
Yeah, we have a God, I don't know if you've looked at
Oh
to
no,
what our onboarding process looks like.
yeah, I clicked the thing, so I hope to see it at
Yeah.
some point. But like, I don't expect it like right away or anything. Uh,
Right.
I'm just basically thinking what to build now at this point.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see how much it's grown. Like, we all used to live kind of in the same area. Now it's just like you gotta walk so far to places. It's really cool to see what people have done.
Yeah, totally. And one of the main things I usually do in Minecraft is build pat walkways. So
Oh, nice. Very cool.
yeah. And
But yeah,
do you want to shout out your links and stuff?
my stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Honestly, if you just like look up BlondRadio on, I think we're almost on every platform. Come on through. We'd love to have you. That's Blonde without an E. And then
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah, as
that.
far as future stuff, we're always streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And then this Friday, John, this is my longest video to date. I put so much time and heart into it. The folder that I've used for the files for it, like the project folder, is like well over 100 gigs. It is a big boy. And I'm very excited to share it with people.
Oh,
And that will be up on Friday.
I do have a quick question about your
Mm-hmm.
contest. Not contest.
Oh,
Event.
the event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Actually, while we've been talking, I just got a couple of submissions. What's up?
It was to do with collaboration, right?
Yeah, you can either so we try to do weekly events on the Discord server, and this week's theme was create a piece around collaboration, what that means to you, and it was recommended you could either do it solo or work with someone else, and it's been really cool to see what people have made together.
Well, I didn't know there was a theme, so I was like, oh, I could just probably put this video in.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
And it was one of the videos I recently uploaded where it was I went to Tofino, right? And I
Oh
went
yeah.
into this like trail and there
I
was
think did you put that on YouTube? I think I
yes,
saw that.
yes. I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Very
oh, I
cool.
wanted to put that into the uh event, but then I read themes and I'm like, so I don't
For
know
sure.
what you
I'll
think.
let you come to a decision on that. I will say from the stuff that we've received so far, it is somewhat to pretty clear. Like the theme of their work is sort of around collaboration. So if you're
Right.
sort of comfy being an outlier, I'm totally cool for that. Or, there's still some time left if you want to throw something quick together as well.
I mean, I could just take a snippet from this.
Of course, of course.
Nah, I don't know. I'll think about it.
I'll let you sleep on it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And thanks for coming on. And thank
Always.
you all for listening. If you even are, that is my catchphrase, apparently. I had to say that so Troy would be like, yeah, you said the catchphrase.
John, you gotta believe in yourself. People are listening, and as even if it's one person that supports your work, that is so valuable. That's something someone told for me. The size of the audience doesn't matter. What matters is what impact you have on them.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I was more saying it as a joke in the first episode, and I just been saying it ever since.
Well, if it works, if it sticks, I'll let you do it.
Yeah. So thanks again, Brad, and I will put your links in the description.
Appreciate it.
Peace.